Right, buddy, welcome back to the latest Manchester United news. Now, in this huge update, we have news about Brian Mbuemo to Manchester United. There's been some developments on that. Also, talks about Saudi coming in for Casemiro as well. So we'll be talking about that and discuss the latest United news as we always do. Now, listen, obviously we got the news yesterday suggesting or confirming more or less that Manchester United made the second bid for Brian Mbuemo. That came out from Ben Jacobs. It was in excess of £60 million. Now, we've had obviously some further developments by that. Manchester United have submitted an improved bid of more than £60 million for Brian Mbuemo. United are trying to get Ruben Amorim's squad sorted for the start of pre-season training on the 7th of July, which is 13 days away. Now, obviously, there's coming in from a lot of reports, a lot of credible ones. But the most interesting one was from the BBC. They only kind of reveal, it was Simon Stone from the BBC, they only kind of reveal news when it is pretty reliable. So this second bid is probably going to go in very shortly. I think it will get accepted. And yeah, United want to get him done by pre-season, which is absolutely huge. I mean, look at how last season went. We finished 15th. One of the worst, or the worst season in United's history. No trophy, no European football, one game a week. And yes, we haven't made massive improvement to the squad. We've brought in Cunha, we want to get Mbuemo over the line. But I think they are two transformative sort of signings in the fact that, listen, we need to bring in Premier League goals. We've done that with Cunha and we're hopefully going to do that with Mbuemo. They're two experienced players. 25, I believe both of them are, or Cunha might just have turned 26. They are very, very technical players, and as I said, was it 20 goals for Mbuemo, 15 for Cunha? Not that they're going to transform into that directly into United, but it's something that is needed. As I said, pre-season training starts just in under 2 weeks, and we really have any players available. So, listen, we need as much players as we can get. We need players to come in as quickly as possible, and I think Mbuemo is going to do that. 60 mil is what they wanted, and I think that deal will get accepted. Hopefully we can have him ready for pre-season, because that's something that's absolutely huge. But yeah, that's really the latest on that. We want to get the squad sorted, and again, that probably still means outgoings as well. Manchester United top priority to still Mbuemo, and have decided a new number 9. So listen, the number 9 situation is not going away, and I think we still need a number 9 regardless. If we do sign Mbuemo and Cunha, which we are, we need someone who's going to come in and be a clinical number 9. And I think that's something that United need, something that we haven't had in a while. Someone who's experienced. Who that is, we don't know at this moment, but we're hoping it's going to be Gyökeres. But listen, that's the latest on the Mbuemo stuff. Improved bids gone in on over excess 60 mil. You could very soon get a here we go, which we will obviously give you the video on. But yeah, let's see what happens with that. But it's very, very close. That second bid has been made. The first bid of 45 plus 10 was rejected. United have gone in with an improved offer. Now, the next thing I want to talk, NASSR are close to signing Casemiro, and negotiations are at an advanced stage. Now, that's coming in from Saudi sources. Listen, Casemiro, the only club he's been linked away from Manchester United is NASSR. Obviously, Ronaldo being at the club, and Casemiro, for me, I think this would be a perfect sort of exit. You get rid of his 250k wages. You open up a spot for maybe a Manu to get more game time, or maybe bring someone in, a Paulinho maybe. I think this does make a lot of sense. I mean, negotiations at an advanced stage. I think it's time for Casemiro to leave. I think the seasons he's had at United, particularly towards the end of last season, he was very, very good, very consistent, put some very, very good performances in. I think with him, he's a player who, again, has struggled at times, but he's a top professional and a top player. And again, this in the 3 seasons he had at United, the first one was fantastic. Second one wasn't the greatest, and the third one probably 50-50. So listen, Casemiro, he's not worth the wages he's on. As I said, you can, the 350k per week, you can reinvest it to somewhere else in the squad, and I think that's something that does make a lot of sense when it comes to the Casemiro situation. As I said, maybe bringing in a Paulinho, maybe someone from midfield, maybe like a Rice, Toby Collier, or a Sekou Kone, something like that. Yes, you do lose experience from Casemiro, but again, we have other experienced players in the squad. I mean, Martinez, you've got Bruno. Like, these are experienced players. You got Delo, who's been playing for a long time in terms of the Premier League. Yes, his professionalism will probably be missed, but again, I think it's time for him to move on. Hopefully, NASSR will sign him with negotiations reportedly at an advanced stage. Now, next thing I want to talk about Mason Mount. He intends to stay at Manchester United and willing to fight for his place. He's focusing on staying fit, doing his best in pre-season, and stay to it the full season with Ruben Amorim. Listen, I said I'd give him another season. I think that's what he deserves. He's had a difficult start to United, and again, but depending on how next season goes, it will massively decide whether I want him to stay or whether he will stay or go anyway. I think Mount, as a player there, he does fit into the system. Again, as one of those 10s, he's perfect for me. Again, I did say concerns over the playing time, but that is true. I mean, is he going to get much playing time? Depending on how the season goes, injuries and whatnot, you could see Mason Mount get a lot of game time. Being sent to stay at Manchester United, I think we knew that anyway. Now, lastly, I want to talk about Chelsea and United are with opportunities other than Nkunku and Garnacho. So let's see what happens with there. Manchester United and Chelsea are weighing up a possible scenario where Nkunku and Garnacho could go to the opposite clubs. I mean, if that happens, I'll be fuming. Like, no disrespect to Nkunku, but Garnacho's a miles better player than him, to be honest. Chelsea and Manchester United weighing up a possibility of trying to send Christopher Nkunku and Alejandro Garnacho in opposite direction this summer. Now, the only thing I can think of why United would be involved in a deal for Nkunku is just a Christopher Vivell. Maybe Vivell signed it while he was at Leipzig. I'll have to go and check. But listen, for me, I'd rather keep Garnacho than sign Nkunku, to be honest with you. And yes, that's saying something crazy because I want Garnacho to be sold. Just injuries, inconsistent. He's 27, whereas Garnacho, yes, he's inconsistent at times, but he is 20 years old. Yes, the attitude thing's a problem. I'm not saying keeping Garnacho at any point, but if you're saying, would I rather Nkunku or Garnacho, I'm picking Garnacho any of the day. And listen, I do not want Nkunku at Manchester United. I think this is a sign where United have gone wrong in previous windows signing these sorts of players. But let's see what happens. I'm going to leave it there.